Alright, Schlockmeister fans, by request, an 80s horror film, Night School. Let's watch. This woman works at a daycare and the last kid just left and she's kind of killing time a little bit.
Ain't you going home, Miss Barron?
Yeah, in a while.
And it's killing time, get it? Someone pulled up on a motorcycle and got off.
I'm afraid all the children have left. Who was it you came for?
Spins her around real fast and then chop. Leonard Mann on the right there. Judd Austin plays the cop investigating the murder.
Same MO as last one. No fingerprints, no suspects, no motives, no...
Her head's in a bucket.
Why? Why would he mutilate her over there and bring the head here and put it in a bucket?
You asking me?
Since she was a college student, goes and talks to the professor.
Police department. Miss Griffin said I should talk with you. About what? Ann Barron?
Thank you.
That's Rachel Ward. She works with the professor.
I finished typing your notes. Do you want to go through them before I get them?
And she looks a little jealous, doesn't she?
Yes, why?
Is it true?
What true?
What's around with all the students?
I wouldn't know.
Well, who can blame him? I mean, a good-looking guy like that?
On her way home that night, Eleanor sees a creepy guy and thinks she might be followed. Is that our killer? Anyway, she calms down enough to take a shower. Yep, she's having an affair with the professor.
The front door was locked. I rang the bell. Didn't you hear it?
So he hopped into the shower with her, and they had this weird ritual where they spread this red paint-looking stuff all over them. Paint, blood, I don't know. They're both anthropologists, or at least he is, and she's a student. I guess there's some tribes that are into this. Fast forward to, I believe, that student we saw earlier. Her name is Kim, and she's working in an aquarium of some sort. And she hears something weird. And just like the first victim, off with her head. And this time the head gets tossed into the aquarium and hits a turtle on the way down.
For the most part, they're barely out of puberty. They're apt to mix fantasy with reality.
Oh, come on, Professor. Were you having an affair with Ann Barron?
No,
And Kim Morrison?
certainly not.
I don't know what more you want from me. I love you. I'd do anything in the world for you. But it's not enough, is it? There's always going to be somebody else.
But there's more.
I'm pregnant, Vincent.
Remember that waitress who thought the professor was sleeping with everybody? I think she's next. And he's carrying her head up the stairs. At the restaurant the next day.
Oh, God. Hey, Gus. Yeah? You ever thinking of wearing a hairnet when you made this stew?
We're thinking her head is in the great big
What's the
bucket
matter?
of
Are you
stew.
kidding?
But it's not in the stew, it's actually in the sink.
Oh, my God.
Cop asked the best line in the movie here.
What the hell was the head doing in the sink?
How am I supposed to know?
Isn't breaking and entering a crime even for a policeman?
Isn't headhunting a crime even for an anthropologist?
What's that supposed to mean?
Cop believes the
Nothing.
professor's doing it.
It's a very nice thing to do, to have an affair with drop her as if she didn't exist at all. I would have thought you had more feeling than that.
Eleanor, who the hell do you think you are?
Well, that woman is next. Her head ends up in the toilet. And this chick is next. Our cop finally shows up. And the big reveal is that Eleanor is the killer.
How you been? I'm worried sick.
You did it for us, Vincent. And for our baby. And if you insist on having affairs with other women, I'm gonna have to kill them too. Now that's logical, isn't it?
Well, the cops show up at the apartment. And the escape.
Give me your gun. I'll put out an ATV.
The chase comes to an end in a back street in Boston. And another big reveal. It's the professor. He's taking the rap for her. At the funeral.
Is the ceremony over?
Yes.
Alright, let's talk about Night School. This is a movie that showed up on cable back in the 80s. I watched it a few times. What I always remember about this movie was the head in the fish tank. Or I guess it's an aquarium, actually. Not to be confused with the head in the fish tank in the movie He Knows You're Alone. Also, which I reviewed earlier on this channel. It stars Rachel Ward and Leonard Mann. Leonard Mann is the cop. Rachel Ward is one of her earliest acting things here. She plays this young college professor. I guess she's a student at this college, and she's helping out this anthropology professor, Dr. Minute, I think is his name. Minette, something like that. Anyway, they're having an affair, and she's kind of jealous because he is still allegedly having affairs with other young horny co-eds on the campus too. I use the word horny co-eds because the waitress in the restaurant used it as well. And she says, well, how can I be sure you're faithful? You know, that's the way I met you, blah, blah, blah. And then he said, well, you should have known what to expect then. What an asshole, right? So anyway, so also during the whole course of this movie, there's people being killed. There's a slasher on the loose with this weird looking knife, and he's slicing the heads off of women and putting them in water. Be it this a bucket or a fish tank, or I should say an aquarium, a toilet, and just submerged in some sort of liquid somehow in a sink at one point. What's going on? Well, in anthropology, there's some sort of African cultures that if they believe if you chop off a head, you take the person's soul, something, whatever. I don't know. It's just kind of some sort of convoluted shit to cover up for a serial killer. But anyway, ultimately, we find out that Rachel Ward, Eleanor, is the killer. She's pregnant with their baby, and she comes back to the professor, and he's like, "Oh my God, you're crazy." And he's like, "I did it for us. I did it for you and me and the baby. You know, if you're going to continue to have affairs, I'm going to kill them too." Is that logical? And he's like, yes, it is. So anyway, the police show up, and she's like, you know, if they catch me, you know, they're going to kill me, and that'll kill our baby, blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, the killer drives a motorcycle with this black helmet on, and the motorcycle escapes from the house. The cops chase after it, end up shooting, and the guy wipes out, and they pull up the helmet, and it's not Rachel Ward, it's the professor. So the professor basically is taking the rap for his girlfriend, so she can have their baby, I guess. And that's kind of how the movie ends. That's it. Now, the last scene of the movie, the cop at the funeral in the cemetery, because cops always attend funerals of the people they kill, says to Eleanor, so is it over? And she's like, yes. So he has some sort of belief that she was the killer. Of course he does, which is ridiculous, but whatever. He figured it all out somehow. So anyway, that's it. So Night School. Anyway, I saw this movie several times back in the 80s. I kind of liked it. Rachel Ward has a nude scene in this movie, and that weird scene in the shower where they're wiping this red ink blood paint shit all over each other. I don't know. It's some sort of African ritual of some sort. I don't know. I never got that scene and kind of messed up a nice little nude scene it could have been, but whatever. It was still nice because Rachel Ward was kind of a lovely lady. So, but that's it. That is Night School. Now, this was released, actually, the Warner Archive collection. I don't think this ever got an actual DVD release. However, it does have a Blu-ray release now, and I don't know if that's part of the archive collection. Also, is it a BDR or DVD or a BD? I don't know, whatever you call that. A Blu-ray R. So, anyway, I'll leave a link down below to whatever it is I can find for you. Check it out. It's a decent film. It's an early 80s slash from 1981, and I kind of like it. So watch it. Leave some comments. Tell me about it. Night School. Bye.